Hey guys, welcome to another Mind Right Monday. Can you believe that it's been 16 years to today that 9/11 struck our country and rattled us to the very core of who we were? For many of you watching this, it feels like it might have been yesterday. For many of you can still remember the exact moment and place that you were when this tragedy rocked our country. And for many people, it still rattles and rocks them today, especially if they were directly affected by the tragedy itself. So today, being that it is September 11th, we decided to do a special Mind Right Monday just for you. And today we're talking about the 3 tips to help you move forward after tragedy strikes. Now, whether or not tragedy is the impact of 9/11 or tragedy in your own personal home, whether it's the loss of a loved one, whether it is tragedy with work or getting fired or losing your home, tragedy can come in all shapes and sizes and affect all of us differently from time to time. So today we want to talk about 3 different tips to help you move on and move forward after these events occur and rattle our lives. So before we get started, let me read to you this powerful quote that I think is going to tie it all together with a big, beautiful bow. We don't even know how strong we are until we are forced to bring that hidden strength forward. In times of tragedy, of war, of necessity, people do amazing things. The human capacity for survival and renewal is awesome. Isabel Allende. When tragedy strikes, we often think of the bad things that people do. Maybe when they go into survival, they only think of themselves. But in real life, there's so much humanity that comes out from us when these tragedies strike. The ability to have compassion and help and empathy for complete strangers. Now, when tragedy strikes in our own home, sometimes we forget to reach out for the support of the community, whether it's our friends, church, society, clubs, things that where we can get the love and support from the outside world and help us through this tragedy. So let's talk about 3 ways you can start moving forward if you're dealing with something at home right now. The first one being, take control over what you can and stop worrying about what you can't. We spend so much time wasted and fussing and fretting about the things that we have zero, and I mean zero, control over. We spend so much energy worrying and being upset and wasting all of that emotional energy or that emotional currency when what we can focus on are things that are maybe only 10%. There's an old saying that says, life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. Well, if we're constantly in reaction, and guess what happens when tragedy strikes? We're in a constant state of reaction. But to move forward, we need to get out of this mindset of worrying about the 1,000 things we can't do, or the 1,000 things we should have done better, or that we could have done better, or the things that we could have foreseen. And to just get into action and to start taking action for the things that we can control, even if it's just 1%. All right, this leads me to my next tip, which is keep moving forward. Continued progress will keep your spirits up and inspired to grow. When tragedy strikes, the first thing that we typically do is we freeze. We stop making movement. And even after the tragedy subsides, the aftermath, the devastation that usually follows will leave us paralyzed and not knowing where to turn or what to do. You know, one of the things I often hear from business owners or even clients that I've worked with who have struggled with hoarding is that they're like, I don't know where to start. I don't know where in my business to start. There's so many things. There's so many different things that demanding and commanding my attention. I don't know where to go. And you know, the first thing that you can do is just take an action. Because one step forward will inspire another step forward, which will inspire another step forward, which will inspire another step forward. And next thing you know is that massive big thing that seems so overwhelming and so paralyzing becomes a completed project. So when tragedy strikes and when you're in that state where you're in paralyzation, you're not making movement, you're not moving forward, that is the perfect time to just, after you've maybe gave yourself some grace, let me put that disclaimer in there, is to start taking action, to do a little cleanup, And whatever that looks like or feels like or means to you. Now that cleanup could just be cleaning up your house. That cleanup could be an apology to someone. That cleanup could be applying for a new position. That cleanup could be your resume. You can decide what that cleanup looks like depending on what your tragedy is. But doing nothing can only guarantee that nothing will change. Doing something will start to move you forward. So after you've given yourself time to sit in grace, to give yourself some compassion and to kind of recover from that tragedy, now it's time to start moving forward, and that requires action. All right, this leads me to my third and final tip today, which is have patience with yourself and others. You know, patience is one thing that I think that our society struggles with more than anything. We now live in a fast food time frame, right? Think about it. We are used to instant internet. We're on demand, downloaded, high speed, 3 minutes or less. And if you're sitting in a fast food line for longer than that, you're going to get it for free. You know, we grew up in this, or we're in this era, this time where it's just like speed and quick, and we've lost sight of our precious sense of patience. And so what happens when tragedy strikes, we expect that this other person or ourselves will be more resilient or bounce back faster or have that strength or adversity or the resiliency that you may have, or you see other people having it and you have that envy or that you're envious of that. And sometimes all you need is a little patience. And when we can give ourselves that patience, we can give ourselves that grace, and we can allow ourselves the space that we need to breathe, to recover, to recoup, and to move forward. All right, hopefully this video has helped you in some way. As always, it is brought to you from a viewer just like you. If you have a personal development question that you are seeking an answer to, email us at getinspired@bonniekelly.me. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We love staying connected with you every step of the way. Until next week, I'm Bonnie Kelly. Hey guys, did you enjoy this video? I sure hope so. If you're ready to start moving forward today, I have an amazing free gift just for you. Right now, you can get 7 days free of my 21-day emotional detox program. You can start learning the skills and tools to declutter and decompress your mind, and allowing you to enhance your mindfulness and emotional resiliency. Yours available now, absolutely free for the first 7 days, and you just click the link below. Until next week, I'm Bonnie Kelly.